When the universe created our Earth, it took this issue seriously. The planet has become more than just a piece of rock that rotates in millions in space. The Earth has become home to billions of living organisms. And in order for all these organisms to coexist on the planet, a natural balance appears. Of course, this balance was not perfect. When the universe was in a bad mood, it sent huge meteorites to Earth that destroyed 90% of all the inhabitants of the planet. And it all started again. It took millions of years for the Earth to once again boast a diversity of flora and fauna. This continued until us. This will continue after us. In the depths of the world's oceans, where light does not penetrate and the silence is only broken by the sound of the surf, lived the prehistoric giant shark Megalodon. Megalodon, the giant shark of ancient times, possessed majestic power and undeniable magnificence. The terrible and insidious shark had no equal. The name Megalodon is a proud abbreviation. Megalo means great. Don means tooth. The teeth of the ancient shark, the remains of which we find in modern-day reefs, were truly amazing. Such huge teeth easily crushed the bones of the most massive creatures in the sea. Imagine a huge creature swimming in the dark depths of the ocean. Its dimensions are not inferior to those of a giant sperm whale or even a blue whale. However, unlike the latter, Megalodon is not a peace-loving creature that does not hunt various inhabitants of the marine fauna. The blue whale, with its graceful manner and peaceful nature, poses virtually no danger to other marine life. But Megalodon, being a predatory shark, hunted differently. Its sharp teeth and powerful jaws are designed to attack and destroy anything that comes its way. Megalodon knows no mercy. His hunter's instincts are awakened by the sight of potential prey. The bite force, beyond imagination, reaches an astonishing 110 kilonewtons, which is equivalent to the weight of several cars. But could a big mega swim so serenely across the endless expanses of the oceans? There were several marine animals that overlapped within a short period of prehistory with Megalodon. This is Melville's leviathan, a huge toothed whale that could pose a threat to the Megalodon. And it's hard to say which of them presented lunch at the meeting. Everything depended on the circumstances. This is the size and age of the opponents, and also the number of individuals at the meeting. Sometimes a family of megalodons would attack a lone leviathan, and sometimes several whales pinned a giant shark in the corner, another opponent who could fight back against the Megalodon. In the depths of the ancient oceans, where darkness envelopes everything around and only distant rays of light shine through, looping through the thick curtain of water, there lived a creature that evoked awe and horror even in the most daring inhabitants of the underwater world. Zygophocider, this mysterious predator of the ocean spaces. There's something of a killer whale about him. Grace and cunning that make him an even more dangerous opponent. Although Zygophocider is small compared to the Leviathan, its powerful jaws and sharp teeth make it no less dangerous. His body length reaches about 23 feet, but this is only a disguise for his true strength. They hunt in packs, coordinated and mercilessly, leaving no chance for even the strongest prey. If a lone megalodon appeared on the path of a school of these small whales, then it could end sadly for the latter. Rhamphosukis, ancestor of the gharial crocodile. With an impressive length of 60 feet, this beast surpassed even the most fearsome predators of its time. The name Rhamphosukis sounds like a mighty thunder. And in fact, it was a creature without equal in its vastness. Unlike the Megalodon, whose form represented the strength and thunder of the ocean, Rhamphosukis was a secretive predator striving for greatness and dominance in its world. Its advantage over the Megalodon was its mobility and speed in the water. Thanks to these qualities, he could maneuver deftly, catching his prey and avoiding danger. Its teeth were ideal for hunting large fish, and its terrifying appearance could freeze even the most courageous opponent. The greatness of the ancient predators Megalodon, Zygophocether, and Rhamphosukis captures the imagination, because they stood at the top of the food chain of their time, ruling the waters and instilling fear in all who dared to cross their path. Archaeological finds, as impressive as they are, often leave many gaps in our understanding of these ancient monsters. Complete skeletons of these creatures practically do not exist, and this is especially true of the Megalodon, the king of all predators of the deep sea. Most often, archaeologists discover only fragments and remains, among which Megalodon teeth are the most common find. These huge and powerful teeth are a reminder of the merciless nature of this predator, but other parts of its body, those on which other, stronger predators might have left their mark, have not yet been discovered. The Mosasaurus is a symbol of ancient power and strength, the embodiment of survival in the ruthless world of the Cretaceous Sea. This ancient predator was truly a terrifying sight. Its huge jaws and sharp teeth made it a deadly machine, and its menacing appearance terrified even the bravest inhabitants of the ocean. The Mosasaurus was a merciless hunter whose diet could include any sea creature. Paleontologists suggest that the diet of Mosasaurus was diverse and included different types of animals. He hunted bony fish, sharks, cephalopods, birds, and other marine reptiles. Even other mosasaurs could not feel safe, because this predator was ready to attack them mercilessly and without hesitation. But there was a predator that could resist the Mosasaurus. Brahivinae. Brahivinae were the arbiters of the laws of the waters, possessors of formidable strength and the ruthless nature of predators. Their enormous size and powerful limbs made them unsurpassed hunters, capable of doing anything to catch their prey. This sea monster, reaching a length of up to 40 feet, was very dangerous for the Mosasaurus. Its powerful jaws and sharp teeth made it a deadly opponent for anyone. Hunting in the depths of the ocean, he pursued other sea creatures, sparing no one in his path. The discovery of the remains of Brahivinae is like a link in a chain that turns our understanding of the world of antiquity upside down. We previously believed that mosasaurs were the only rulers of the Cretaceous seas. But the appearance of Brahivinae forces us to reconsider this point of view. This giant suggests that pliosaurs may have survived the Jurassic period and continued to exist, roaming the oceans in search of prey. Although mosasaurs clearly drove them out of certain areas and left them in a vulnerable position, it is important to note that pliosaurs did not disappear from the face of the earth. These majestic predators lived side by side with mosasaurs, creating a unique balance in the world of sea creatures. The kings of the seas and oceans were forced to coexist with each other and were clearly the most malicious competitors, probably with each other. Dunkleosteus, sea king of the Devonian period. This ancient giant was the ruler of the sea. Woe to those who stood in his way. Its greatness can only be compared with the legendary tyrannosaurs of land. But Dunkleosteus was the king of the water element, where the shark's neighbors seemed only helpless fish. Its enormous size and strong jaws made it an unrivaled predator, capable of doing anything to achieve a successful hunt. Dunkleosteus was the embodiment of fear for all who dared to fight him. This giant fed mainly on cephalopods, but if an inattentive fish came across its path, the predator could bite it too. In the ancient seas, the only one that could match Dunkleosteus in strength and size was another, even more formidable Dunkleosteus. These creatures practiced cannibalism, leaving no chance even for their fellow creatures. The clashes between two giant Dunkleosteus were both magnificent and tragic. Powerful jaws filled with sharp teeth fought for supremacy in the aquatic struggle for survival. Each of the predators strove for the top of the food chain, ready to do anything to prove their strength and power. Some of the most ferocious sea creatures that ever lived on the planet were the sharp-toothed ichthyosaurs. Ichthyosaurs were the absolute rulers of the seas of their time, not succumbing for a moment to any enemies or dangers. Their powerful bodies and sharp teeth allowed them to easily dominate the aquatic environment, and the lack of natural enemies contributed to their rapid development and evolution. This absolute chaos in the seas allowed the ichthyosaurs to flourish and evolve, creating impressive forms and adaptations that made them even more powerful and fearsome. They were animals devoid of any natural rivals. Laernulaer, one of the most popular species among pliosaurs. This predator ate everything that could become its prey. Sharks, clams, plesiosaurs, and many other sea creatures. Laernulaer had no equal at that time. He was the consummate warrior of the ocean, devoid of any enemies except his fellows. Analysis of the behavior of modern species occupying similar ecological niches confirms that cannibalism may have flourished among Laernulaers. In a world where food was abundant and competitors were few, Laernulaer could not only hunt prey, but also feed on its fellows when there was nothing to eat. Another pliosaur that could boast of strength and powerful build. This is Kronosaurus, inhabitant of the early Cretaceous period. Despite its enormous size, the teeth of Kronosaurus were not admired. Contrary to expectations, each of them was only a few inches long and possessed only a small degree of the lethal cutting edges characteristic of more advanced marine reptiles, not to mention prehistoric sharks. It is believed that this pliosaur compensated for its lack of sharp teeth with a deadly powerful bite and the ability to pursue prey at high speeds. Once Kronosaurus had a firm grip on a plesiosaur or sea turtle, it could roughly shake its prey and then easily crush its skull like an underwater grape. Well, who could hunt such a giant as Kronosaurus? Recent scientific discoveries in the field of paleontology have recorded amazing evidence of the clash of ancient monsters. Paleontologists have discovered Kronosaurus bite marks on the skull of an Australian plesiosaur known as Eromangosaurus. However, despite the evidence discovered, it remains a mystery what happened to this further as a private being. Whether the plesiosaur died after being attacked by the Kronosaurus or continued to exist with a horribly deformed head remains open. An ancient marine predator of insects and arthropods known as Echolopterus reigned on Earth about 400 million years ago. This amazing creature, who became the arbiter of the laws of nature in his era, was ready to swallow everything that was smaller in size, including his fellow creatures. Growing to an impressive 8 feet in length, Echolopterans had powerful, spiked claws with which they caught their prey. Experts suggest that these monstrous arthropods, armed with their claws, waited for their victims and then instantly attacked, tearing them to pieces. Research into Echoloptera helps us better understand the evolution and diversity of life on our planet. This unique animal has left its mark on history, reminding us of how vast and great nature was even millions of years ago. Triassic. The ancient waters were home to creatures remarkably similar to modern eels, known as nothosaurs. Their memorable appearance made nothosaurs prominent representatives of the world of prehistoric fauna. They were impressive in size, reaching lengths of up to 23 feet, and had unique adaptations for life in an aquatic environment. The main distinguishing features of nothosaurs were their paddle fins and webbed feet, which allowed them to develop high speeds in the water. These powerful body parts allowed nothosaurs to move and hunt effectively in an aquatic environment. Their sharp, needle-like teeth and powerful jaws made them dangerous predators. Nothosaurs were able to easily tear prey apart, providing themselves with the necessary nutrition. But still, even for such an animal, there were more dangerous predators. These were different types of ichthyosaurs. Larger specimens like Shanosaurus could come into conflict with an inattentive Nothosaurus. We still don't know how it all ended, but rather nothing good. Another representative of the Triassic period, Mastodonsaurus. Unlike its marine counterparts, this creature lived in swamps, lakes, and river deltas. The appearance of the Mastodonsaurus forced all aquatic inhabitants to reckon with it. The teeth were so gigantic that they did not fit into the mouth. The great Mastodonsaurus was a relative of common frogs. But this did not stop him from causing terror in his element. The only enemy of this predator was drought. If a swamp or lake dried out, the great Mastodonsaurus simply died from dehydration. Thank you for watching our episode to the end. Give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And also click on ring the bell so you don't miss new and interesting videos from the Real Unreal channel.